show for people who make gravy from scratch and for people who get it out of a jar or a can. I'm Giulia Rozzi.
And I'm David Gborie, and I'm a secret family recipe. And if you want to get the secret ingredient, like and subscribe to Wowee, and I'll tell you how we make that David sauce.
Feel free to have a little of your preferred form of cannabis while you watch the show.
Or have a lot, or none. It's all good. You can do whatever you want. I trust you. All right, Giulia, last day of Gravy Week. You know that I am a hard-hitting journalist asking the tough questions nobody wants to ask. So, here's my question for you on the last day. Do you like your food wet or dry?
Okay, first of all, that very much feels like a question I asked my vet about my dog. Do you like dry food or wet food? I like a scoop of kibble with a little bit of wet food mixed in. No, it depends on the food. Like, I love like wet pizza, like an oily, sloppy slice of pizza. But as far as like I'm trying to think of something I like dry. Like I've had a few sandwiches. I don't like wet bread.
Dry? You don't like wet bread?
I want some. No, like I like a little aioli, maybe some pesto. But you know when they put so much sauce on the bread that it becomes like mushy. Oh my god, it makes me gag.
Oh, that's what I love it. That's what I love.
Really?
Pour some drizzle on me. I like wet food from way back.
Like
I'm a wet guy,
bread.
you know that. Ish, yeah. Like when you get like the hero and they put the oil and the vinegar on the lettuce and then they put it on the sandwich and it kind of gets the bread soft. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I like it. Soups, creams, sauces, all that.
But soft bread is different than soggy bread. No? Tomato.
Tomato?
I wonder what today's theme is.
What is today's theme?
What is today's theme? It is destigmatizing gravy. Why do I feel like gravy is a wink-wink term for everything that's looked poorly upon by the world?
That's how I felt this whole week.
Yeah, I mean, gravy's like I think of like wavy gravy, dude, right? That's what we're talking about? I don't know.
I think of breakfast.
When you think of gravy?
Yeah.
You have gravy
Like sausage
for breakfast?
gravy. You never had sausage gravy for breakfast?
No.
Don't make me feel like I'm nuts here, wavy gravy.
No, that sounds good. That sounds real good.
You've never had biscuits and gravy?
I've had it. It's just not what I'm into for breakfast. I don't judge. That's great. Look, come on. Let's not.
Coming up, we're talking with
this season of fight. I can't.
This is our first fight. This is our first, and it would have been gravy that would have done it. I could have called that from week one.
Yeah.
Gravy week is gonna. That's how Donnie and Marie split up. Coming up, we are talking with personal chef Harold Sims and Wowee News correspondent Jeremy Berke. But for now, we're welcoming author and spreader of Weed Joy, who is co-streaming today's show, Chef Anna.
Yo, what's up? Wow, we appreciate y'all for having me on.
Hey, what's up, Chef?
Hello.
Man, chilling. Can't complain. What's going on y'all way?
Oh, man. Look at you. You got the indoor next to you?
Yeah,
Yes.
I had to bring a little special guest with me. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know what I do, or for the people that, just recently found me in the brand, I want to at least have a little example to show y'all.
God bless you. What kind of plant is that?
This right here is a mimosa cross. It's a mimosa auto cross that I brought up from the breeding program. So she's actually pregnant, full of seed right now. So those will be hopefully coming in a later drop. ChefAnnaWhiteLabel.com. Check us out.
This is fantastic. I mean, not to switch gears, but we have a very important question to ask you. It is gravy week here, which you like your food wet or dry?
I mean, a little bit of what wet food do I eat? Like, is oatmeal wet? Like, oatmeal is wet, right? Like, is that wet food?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I like both. I've never really been posed that specific question, wet or dry food. That sounds like something you would say to a pet. But yeah, I guess I would go with a little mixture of both. I prefer, a little mix.
No, I understand. I like it wet, but that's the world we live in, that we have opposing opinions. It's fine. It's no big deal. My feelings are not hurt at all by that. Do you have anything you want to say to your chef?
I was gonna say,
you eat your cereal dry?
Out the box. Yeah, it's much better out the box, dry. Life cereal out the box all day. So some of the things that should be wet, I prefer dry, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what's vice versa? What do you?
What'd you say?
That is a good question. What is the vice versa?
Oh,
what do you prefer, wet that is usually dry?
I like cornbread dressing. So that cornbread is supposed to be dry, but when you make a nice cornbread dressing, that'll be wet. So there's the vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta switch it up. Shout out to, it's that season too. Thanksgiving right around the corner. Yeah. We got the perfect spread coming. So we'll have a mix of wet and dry foods to go around.
Spoken like a true iconoclast. Is there anything else you want? Is there anything you want to say to the Chef Anna fans watching right now?
Yeah, I see y'all all in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that came through. I appreciate y'all, man. My fans know it's been a crazy year for me. We've had a lot going on in terms of the health side of things, but we still here. We still back, man. I'm back like I never left. So, getting back in my bag, and I appreciate all the continued support. I guess I might have shaken y'all a little bit, did a little pump fake. I said we'd be doing the giveaway live, but if you go to my most recent post, leave a comment. We'll be doing a giveaway in the comments for my most recent post. So shout out to everybody that came through. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all the Wowee viewers and subscribers as well.
Yes. Oh, thank God we have our sound people with that air horn to let us know what's up. We're going to check back in with you in a little while. And we'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you so much.
All right, for sure. I appreciate y'all.
All right. Right now, we have a Wowee test drive. This is where a friend of the show tries out a cannabis product. We send them and reviews it in real time. Today's test drive comes from LA-based writer and comedian Matt Meyerly.
Hey guys, my name is Matt. I am a writer and comedian in Los Angeles, California. My pals at Wowee have asked me to test drive a fun little product for them, and I am super excited. So let's jump in. All right, so let's pop this bad boy open here. My goodness, it's very well packaged. There we go. Look at that. Gorgeous. The deed is done. So I have a fun little project planned. I am gonna do some drawing. I solicited some fun little suggestions here from my social media followers of things that they would like to see me draw. A friend recommended the self-portrait, so let's see if I can do it. Feeling pretty good. Definitely feeling it. Definitely. It's been 45 minutes. I know I'm feeling it because this is really creeping me out. I don't want to finish it, but I feel like I need to, or something bad might happen to my soul. This is in the future after I get plugs. I think it turned out okay. I felt pretty kind of zeroed in, really focused on what I was doing. I found myself kind of getting lost in the drawing. So yeah, overall, I am very pleased with this. I think it's good for creative stuff. I felt just totally sucked into what I was doing, and like I could have just probably drawn for hours, and maybe I will. I highly recommend. Thank you to Wowee for setting up the test drive. Really appreciate it. And happy to test drive any and all products, anytime, really. Thanks again.
I've had Kiva. They're fantastic.
Nice.
I
you
did
fantastic?
a self-portrait, mustache and all.
Did you also start yours out bald just to see what it was like?
Yeah, and then I did my mustache, and I was like, I really accept and see the real me.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Kiva.
Beautiful. Like a new generation Frida Kahlo. Do you want to do a Wowee test drive? You can. Hit us up at woweelive.tv/test drive. And while you're there, like and subscribe because obviously we are the best show really ever.
Yeah. And our first guest, man, he's one of the best guests ever. He is a Denver-based personal chef. He's prepared some gravy for Gravy Week. And he sent a video. Let's take a look.
What's up, everybody? Chef Harold here, and as we know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So last night I figured I'd make one of my favorite dishes, infused beef neck gravy, which I love the name beef neck gravy. It just sounds like it should be the name of a mixtape or some rapper from the South. Here we have onion, garlic, cannabis, rosemary, thyme, a little bit of S&P, salt and pepper for all my non-kitchen heads out there, and of course, our beef neck. And don't forget the flour right there at the back. Now you want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 235 degrees just so you can decarb your cannabis. Now we want to get our meat into the pan, and we want to make sure that gets a nice hard sear on each side. A little salt and pepper ain't never hurt nobody. About 2 tablespoons of oil. Now when it comes to our decarbing, we can use our little silicone with our external thermometer if you're fancy. Hell, if you want to get even fancier, you can do yourself something like this here Ardent. Man, I love this thing. But for me, I want to go for the universal tried and true method of good old-fashioned parchment paper. Now you want to start by putting your cannabis directly into your parchment paper, rolling that up in what's called a papillote, a little French term there. But wait, aren't we forgetting something, Harold? Yeah, very observant. Which cannabis shall we choose for this project? Cannabis can come in a variety of colors and flavors. Wild thrash of Gorilla Glue 4, the earthly Sativa Bazooki, the playful dance of Whiskati 1, or perhaps the friendly pair, Mac and Zaza. When choosing a cannabis cultivar, 2 things are always important to remember. Does it smell good, and does it burn clean? And here's my professional opinion. I absolutely love this strain. There you have it. Words from an expert. I guess we're going with Gorilla Glue. Now that we've already decarbed our cannabis and we have that in the oven, we're going to go ahead and get started on our actual gravy, the thing that we're supposed to be focused on for this whole video, right? Alright, let's get it. Alright, so what we're going to do here is go ahead and chop our garlic up. And what I'm doing is making a garlic paste, rough chopping garlic and then sprinkling it with some coarse salt and then grinding that into a nice paste. After that, I throw in my onions and a bouquet of rosemary and thyme. I'm going to take about 3 tablespoons of flour here, combine that with some water. I'm going to use that later on. After I get a little brownie in the bottom, I add my beef stock. Now, I always go for beef stock that's low in sodium and really high in flavor. And then here's my slurry going right back into there. We're going to make sure we stir that up. Then we're going to cover this pot and make sure that we get that to a nice thick consistency. While that's going, let's go and start our oil. To make my infused oil, I'm actually only going to use about 1 gram of flour at 19.61% and 1/8 cup of oil over low heat for about 20 minutes. Once that's done, I pour that back into my gravy and let that go for another 20 minutes until thick. Salt and pepper to taste. Well, no, okay. So I think that I have 2 favorite holidays. Like I don't have a lot of favorite of anything, first of all. But if I did have to choose a favorite, something to be my favorite holidays, it'd be Thanksgiving and Christmas, and they just happen to be right beside you. And I think that that's not like a very like hot take. Like, it's not a controversial answer. Everybody's not like what about Arbor Day? How dare this charlatan not talk about Valentine's? But it's just something about Thanksgiving because like my family, I have a big family on my mom's side. Now, once 20 minutes is up, we want to go ahead and remove that top and take out anything that we're not going to want to put into the blender, including our bundle of herbs and all of our meat. And I leave the onions in, at least about half of them, and I pulse that up together, run that through a strainer. And once everything is good, you can pour that into a bowl and you're ready to serve. This is my Gorilla Glue infused beef neck gravy. All right, that is it. You can officially consider yourself an expert gravy maker. That sounds so inappropriate. Look, hey, get out there, enjoy holidays, enjoy Thanksgiving, enjoy your family and friends. Make gravy, not babies.
Give a warm gravy welcome to Harold Sims.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Oh, that was fantastic, except for the baby part, because I did just have a baby. But you had a good time.
I did.
You know,
I did. I went through a little bit of cannabis.
Gravy making season and baby making season it's the same season, so.
Anything you do to stay warm, you know what I mean?
That's exactly, whatever gets you through the winter.
But sometimes you're too full to make babies. You know what I mean? If you have too much gravy, the last thing you want to do is make babies.
That's
vice versa, I assume.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, you know what I mean? First of all, hold on. I have to cough. I can't believe you made that video. Such a good job. Thank you. He cooks, he shoots, he edits. Maybe we should get Harold married.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, Harold. So, you live in Denver as well, right?
I do.
I don't know if you have any single friends, but I'm very determined to get David a lady. We have a dating profile ready for him. 808-683-4791. Ideally, you're in the Colorado area. If not, David is open to long-distance relationships.
I am not.
Just wants love. Poor guy just wants love. He makes scratch cranberry sauce.
Hey, man, your profile is looking better than mine already.
Except for the 6 dead roommates. Guys, enough of me and my amazing cranberry sauce. Here's the real question. Harold, what is the most essential part of good gravy? Like the most essential?
So I think that with good gravy, the most essential part is always going to be some kind of herb that you add in there. And so that's usually rosemary and thyme for me. Because without that, it just kind of has this very flat, just bland beef taste. And also, if you don't want to use beef neck, if you have access to it, I love to use just the small cuts of bone marrow. That just gives a whole different flavor to that beef too.
Okay. I feel like that kind of answers this next question, which was like, if I want to jazz up my gravy, stunt how I went the extra gravy mile. What are some unexpected ingredients I could use? Maybe something someone wouldn't expect to find in gravy.
So I think that some fun ingredients to use are smoke. I consider smoke a flavor in and of itself. So I usually would smoke something before, like I said earlier, the bone marrow lends really well to smoking because of the fat content. And then also, if you want to add some coffee in there, if you make some really strong espresso coffee at that, it'll give you some earthiness, some body to that if you're going on brown meats. White gravies are great, kind of without the meat part, and you kind of let that go. I love gravy because this is a general term for anything that you can pour on your dry foods.
Yeah.
I will never refer to that in a restaurant. I will never ask that in a restaurant. Exactly how wet is that?
Yeah. See, I want a chicken piccata, but can you give me a moisture level? Because I'm just not.
It is funny.
Right,
I gotta say though, speaking of the wet food, it is wild how uncomfortable people get with the word moist.
I don't understand
I don't understand it either. Like a moist cake? What other word are you supposed to use? A wet cake? That doesn't make any sense.
Damp.
I mean, I would fuck up some wet cake.
Yeah, shots fired.
Shots fired to the moist community. Okay. But here, for real, what? Hell yeah, Giulia.
Close up on me. It's the last day for a little while.
Yeah, I ate some. It's not
Got it.
nearly as cool. What if
I
you
just
have
made
to
a
choose
mistake.
one? She went too hard. That's
I
what
went
you get
too
for
hard.
talking
I got
all that shit.
excited about boys.
White gravy or brown gravy? There is a wrong
So-
answer.
White gravy for breakfast, brown gravy for dinner.
Ooh.
Actually, that's totally reasonable. That's totally reasonable.
I'm gonna say brown because I'm an ally.
I like brown too better, but it's because I like dinner better than breakfast in general.
Yeah, we can't forget about gravies of color. You know what I mean? They're very
No,
important.
those are
We do.
those
need
are
more
really the main ones I
diversity in gravy.
recognize.
All right, so I have a question for you. So if you make gravy, infused gravy, how dangerous is it to serve a cannabis gravy? Because if it's delicious, and then you're getting a lot of THC. Like, have you had any gravy weed horror stories where someone's just like la 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 la, like chugging it? They're going chug, 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 and then they're
Well, if I ever
we all
saw
know that
somebody
guy.
chugging gravy, I don't think that my concern would be the cannabis part of it. I'd be like, man, you got some stuff going on. Yeah, so what I discovered is like when I go for making any kind of sauce or anything that people are gonna put on themselves, I go for kind of the maximum amount of sauce that you're gonna use, and usually around 2 to 3 ounces. More than that is going to be like getting into a quarter cup or half a cup of ounce kind of or sauce. And so for 2 to 3 tablespoons, people usually will like get it right around 20 milligrams. And that way they can kind of titrate it out. And if they want to do way more than that, because I feel like if you just do one infused thing, then keeping it below 20 is the perfect way to go, because your body's already processing so much food. Throwing on that cannabis on top of it, that THC is going to make you super sleepy.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Plus, if you mix it with the tryptophan from the turkey,
Yeah.
you could be asleep before pie.
Yeah, and nobody wants to miss
That's how
pie.
I like to do it. I like to take a
Sleep
nap
before pie?
mid-afternoon and then come back for pie late in the evening.
Yeah. My favorite is Thanksgiving. The reason why I tend to host is because I want control over the leftovers, because I usually eat more when everyone left. Like the food a little cold later in front of the TV.
Oh, the leftover
No
sandwich
utensils.
on the roll?
I get nasty with it too. I get my hands in there. My husband's horrified, but I'm having a good time.
Salt
My
of the
grandmother
earth.
That's why you
Yeah.
married me.
My grandmother used to
That's
make
true
cream
love.
turkey with the leftovers. That was one of my favorite
She used
dishes
to
of all
make
time.
what?
So it's kind of a mix of so it's a white gravy with leftover turkey put in it, and you just put it over potatoes or toast or anything like that. And that's hands down. That's a mix of gravy and turkey. So that's definitely one of those sleeping dishes.
Yeah.
Wait, as a chef,
You got it.
I wonder if you're going to appreciate this. I mentioned this in the show the other day. My mom used to put prosciutto in her stuffing. How do you feel about that?
Ooh. I like
Yeah,
prosciutto.
right?
It gives you like a little bit of that saltiness in there, some of that smokiness. I
Yep.
love it. Yeah. I think bacon's a little like overused. We need to step out and give like different meats a chance.
Yeah, I agree. We're all about meat
That
quality
is-
here at Wowee.
That's the hottest take of the show so far.
That's what you should put on your dating profile, David. All about meat
All
equality.
right, searching for new meats.
Make sure it's spelled meat with an A. Yeah, a meetup.
Yeah. Desperately. I have an assistant, and I'm desperately searching for new meats. How could that not work?
808-683-4791. David, as of this moment, is still single.
Still searching for new meats. Oh God. Oh no, she's gonna shoot me.
Man, I look cute in that cartoon.
You're a good cartoon baby. Okay, here's a question. What kind of weed do you think goes best with a gravy enhanced meal? And be as specific as you can. I know you used Gorilla Glue for this, which, by the way, Gorilla Glue, if you told me that someone was going to give me Gorilla Glue beef neck gravy, I would think something bad was going to happen to me. And then I saw you make that video, and it was amazing.
Yeah, no, it does sound like a wrestling move from like Samoan Joe or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that what happens when you start to infuse, so there are a few factors you have to kind of worry about. One is temperature control, because if you go over that 250, you'll start breaking down and degrading those terpenes. And one is time. So you have to kind of go for less than 20 minutes is kind of how long I want to keep it at a sustained heat. And so I'll always add mine towards at the end to kind of make sure that it does that. But then after that, you hear a lot of people talking about like the aroma and the smell and like, oh, this one has a fruity smell. And that's great when you're smoking it, or even when you're smoking something with it. Like if you're going to kind of take the leaves and the stems and all that and throw it into a smoker and smoke your food with the cannabis smoke, which I've done before, that's really important, especially the flushing and nutrients. But when
Can I just cut in 1 second?
Yeah.
You put weed in the smoker for the meats?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
This just fucked up my whole winter. Okay, continue. I'm sorry. That's a big. We'll talk off there. I'm
David,
sorry.
Yeah.
he lives in your city. Do you know how lucky you are that you can go have smoked weed meats with the master?
I didn't even know you could smoke weed meats. This is already like two things I didn't know go together. It's like, oh, did you know peanut butter and jelly sandwiches also cure cancer? And you'd be like, whoa, this is a whole new. That was a bad example.
I got what you were
I thought that was
saying.
great.
I'm sorry.
That was great.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, continue.
So when you're going for your actual flower infusion into your oil, you're losing a lot of that, like that full spectrum of the flavor, maybe not the full spectrum of the plant and the breakdown of the THC and CBD and CBNs, but you're not really getting a huge amount of cannabis flavor from the terpenes from a flower. And so with that, I just go tell people, if you smoke it and it makes you feel a certain way, it's going to be slightly enhanced and it's going to be a little harder hitting, but it's pretty much going to be that same feeling. So go for a strain that you know you like. If Golden Goat's your favorite because it makes you feel euphoric, then put that into your food. Don't switch it up and try to put something that you know knocks you out, because now it's not just going to knock you out, it's going to make you lethargic and sluggish too, you know?
Yeah. Harold, we have one last question for you that we've been asking all of our guests lately. What do you think is the number one reason that weed should be federally legal?
So I think that weed should be federally legal just because, one, when we have open access for everyone to be able to use or to grow or distribute on their own, then we'll have a little easier time with litigation and legislation. I think that's a huge issue right now, getting past that, because there's so many individualized markets. But beyond just the money part, I think that the job growth, the community, the facts that drug arrest and DUI rates drop afterwards, and I mean, just the slew of positive things that come out of it. I mean, the government loves money. I don't know why they don't want to take more of our taxes. Like, it's just set up the weed fund. You have so much money. You should do all the crooked shit you want, man. Like, buy 4 or 5 Epstein boats, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do.
I don't know what they do either, but that was a great answer. Folks, you can find him on Instagram at Harold for Hire. Harold, thanks so much for coming on again, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate
Have
y'all.
a great Thanksgiving.
You too. I'll see you
Get in that gravy.
Yeah.
All right, we have a lot more show for you, but first, if you tuned in last week, it was Style Week, and as you know, we had some heated debates about Crocs versus no Crocs. And it seems, based on all the commentary, the guests, all of it last week, David's team Crocs won. And so as promised, we went to the Crocs store, and here's what happened. Hello, I'm Giulia Rozzi from Wowee, and this is
David Gborie from Wowee.
And we're here with some old pal Politos sativas, and we're gonna enjoy these, and then we're gonna go crock shopping.
Croc shopping. Croc Nation, stand up. It's the croc in here.
Actually, the croc store's right here.
Oh.
It's trash. Do you know where the croc store is?
I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go get some crocs.
Oh, there it is.
Ready to change my egg?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting sucked in.
You're a crocker.
A croc convert.
I've been in here for 5 minutes.
It's basically my ex.
Ooh. Thinking about getting these for the winter, the Colorado winter.
I'm positive about it. I've never felt more sure of anything in my life. I'm wearing mine out. These doesn't look like Crocs. They look like clogs. These are the nicest Crocs you can get. And you can put that in your crock pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo woo!
Oh!
Got 'em on right now, baby! Look at these babies. These are. Listen. First and foremost,
Come on.
I was very high. You know, I try
Just
to.
embrace it.
I know, but going high shopping, especially when you're making such a huge, life-changing decision, like buying Crocs,
Yeah.
it was very overwhelming.
You were good though. You were in the pocket. We checked out a lot of gibbets. What were they called?
Yeah, they're called gibbets. I got the one that says chill mode.
Yeah, we all. I don't have my. I'm wearing my summer Crocs currently, but I got the chill mode on my winter Crocs too.
But can we talk about the magical
I was right
story
though, right?
behind this shoe though? I tried on pink, tried on purple. I was certain I was gonna get the lavender. Then I found peach. I was like, here we go. I was gonna get a plain Croc because I own a lot of prints. And then I turned the corner, and there's a clearance rack, right? I didn't have to go clearance. Wowee paid for these. I don't give a shit. I could have gotten the diamond Crocs. You know what I mean? Send in the receipts. But no, what does Giulia Rozzi do? She finds clearance Crocs, one pair left, my size. It was like Cinderella's slipper. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What I'm hearing you say is that there are an assortment of
Yeah.
viable Croc pattern choices.
There's a Croc for everyone. Do I wear these anywhere but around the house and to walk my dog? Absolutely not. But we'll see. Stay tuned next season to see where Giulia wears her Crocs. I think we should get on to the next guest. I want to know. He seems like he owns Crocs. I think our next guest definitely
I think
owns
he might.
Crocs. Our next guest is a
That's not a
journalist and
judgment, by the
correspondent.
way.
No, it's a welcome to the club. Our next guest is a journalist and a correspondent for Business Insider. Please welcome back to Wowee, Jeremy Berke.
Should I feel judged that you think I own Crocs? Like I don't know how to take that.
No, we
It's a good
both
thing.
You should own Crocs.
I
Do you own
don't
'em?
own any Crocs. No, I don't. I feel
we-
sad that I have to tell you guys I don't because David said he has summer Crocs, which means that, you know, there is probably the existence of winter Crocs.
Yes.
So now
yes.
I've really got to think about my croc inventory here. Gotta
I am
make
gonna
some
say this,
decisions.
Jeremy. Though, Jeremy lives in New York City.
It's not a lot of space.
And
yeah.
And I'm going to say, I don't think New York, and I would love for someone to prove me wrong, but I don't know that New York is about that croc life because, like your feet get exposed on the subway, things can crawl in the holes. Crocs feel like a summertime in the grass sort of thing.
Might have to get a pair of park Crocs then for going to the park in the summer. That's a good use case, I think.
I've seen a lot of Instagram skits based out of New York that have Crocs, but listen, send it in. You know what I mean?
I am also going to
impose my will.
We have given Crocs way too much free advertising. So I'm going to put an end to the Croc conversation now until Crocs pays the fuck up, okay? Because this is Wowee TV, baby. And if you want this advertising space, you got to pay us in gibbets.
But also, if you want me and Giulia, we are available for a Croc collab. That's not why we are here today. We are here talking with you today, Jeremy, because of the sudden emergence and prominence of the Republican-led marijuana legalization bill. Can you talk to us about this still developing, kind of mind-boggling news?
Yeah, sure. So back to the more serious stuff. Representative Nancy Mace, she is a freshman Republican, so she's new in Congress. She introduced a cannabis decriminalization bill on Monday. We got an early look at the bill. Basically, what's very interesting about it is it looks like a Republican, a more conservative take on what cannabis legalization is, right? We saw the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, introduce one a couple months ago that had high taxes. It created a lot of sort of reinvestment funds to help those impacted by the war on drugs. Representative Mace's bill has none of that. The tax rate is 3% compared to 25%. It really lets the states decide how they want to govern the industry, how they want to commercialize cannabis, basically if they even want legal cannabis within their borders. So states' rights is a huge component of it, low taxes, and also it kicks oversight to the Treasury Department, which is the way that alcohol is regulated in the US. And so what her bill really does, it's sort of a states' rights, like libertarian almost approach to saying cannabis should be treated like alcohol in the US, and we'll see how the Democrats react. I mean, the bill was just introduced. Representative Mace has a big profile, but again, she's a freshman. She's far from being a leader in her party. It's not yet clear what the Republican Party outside of her and a few other folks really think about legalization. And so we'll be sort of watching this with great interest and seeing how this all evolves.
So for those of us who maybe aren't following everything that goes on Capitol Hill, can you remind us of like some of the past efforts made by the Democratic-controlled House proposing cannabis legalization that basically got ghosted by Republicans?
Yeah, so there are there's a number of bills that are sort of like working their way through Congress. And Congress takes a long time. Things move slowly by design. The most important bills, there was the MORE Act, which was introduced twice actually in the past 2 years, which is sort of a very progressive vision of what marijuana legalization or cannabis legalization should look like in the US. There's a lot of community reinvestment, high taxes. It sort of expands government and creates all these new oversight programs. Beyond that, as I mentioned, the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, along with Senator Cory Booker and Ron Wyden, introduced a bill in the Senate that would also legalize marijuana. It has not yet gotten any support from the Republican colleagues, I believe. You have to kind of quote me on that or fact check me on that one. But again, that's sort of a more progressive bill, right? It expands government. There's a lot of taxes involved. And then the third bill that you should know about is the one that has really actually made headway in both parties. It's called the Safe Banking Act. And that bill would basically, doesn't really touch the legal status or the criminal status of cannabis. But what it would do is it would let banks work with the industry. So for all the reasons that Harold and others have spoken about, like just before I came on here, it would actually free up banks to work with the industry, people to get money to start their own cannabis businesses or, whatever they want to do with that. And that bill actually has a lot of support. It has not yet passed, and so we'll kind of see what happens as all these bills circulate. And, obviously the political process has some push and pull and negotiation built in. So, expect those all to change a lot.
And speaking of that push and pull, what is it about this time that is shifting the fight to legalize cannabis to be, I guess, a partisan one?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, recent polling shows that over 50% of Republicans support legalization. It's never hit that 50% threshold before since I've been covering the industry the past 4 years. On top of Republicans, like 2 out of 3 Americans, 70% support legalization. And so it really is no longer a partisan issue. The how you implement it is the partisan issue. It's like everyone agrees this should be done, but then there's a lot of disagreement about the regulations, the taxes, how you help small businesses versus larger corporations. So all that stuff has to get ironed out, and it's, easier said than done. Like there's a lot that has to get done to have everyone aligned to create a bill that can actually pass a relatively divided Congress.
Interesting. And do you feel like this kind of current shift is like, now it almost feels like it's not a question of if it's going to be legalized federally, but just how?
For sure. Yeah. I think that, it's obviously a different issue, but you can draw a corollary to gay marriage, right? At the onset in the year 2000, 1999, it wasn't something that anyone would think would ever get passed. 10 years later, you have a Supreme Court ruling enshrining it, and public policy just changed so quickly and so rapidly to the point where it seems crazy to us in 2021 that, gay marriage was ever illegal in the US, right? And so I think that cannabis, from my point of view, which is only one person's point of view, it's going to follow that same trajectory, right? It seemed like a funny joke. Then Colorado legalized, then California, Oregon, the West Coast followed. And now, there's more states than not that actually have some sort of cannabis laws on the books. I mean, I think there's only 3 that have absolutely no medical cannabis right now. And so things just change really quickly. And obviously where, voters support something, where 2 out of 3 Americans support something, you'll see politicians follow, right? That's just good politics.
Yeah, so this kind of leads into this next question. So we've been talking a lot about the Cannabis in Common initiative being led by famous politicians Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen. Based on the data they collected, 91% of Americans agree that cannabis should be legal in some way. Do you know, where is this info coming from? Like, is that a legit study that's been done? I've never been polled, I'm just curious why no one's asked me. I've also never been polled for Family Feud. So, survey says what?
So, there's a short answer and a long answer, right? The short answer is yes, that data is absolutely valid. It's a question of what that 91% really means, right? Because the way that a survey or a poll can ask a question can really elicit different responses that may not always align with how the respondent is thinking, right? They can say like, do you think people should be put in jail for marijuana use? If 91% of people say no, then they could reasonably say that 91% of people support legalization, right? But that could not really be the case, right? If you ask the question in a way where it's like, do you support cannabis being sold like liquor in the US? You'll probably get much lower than 90%. Most other polling shows, 68, 70% on that question, depending on where they're from. But the longer answer there is like a lot of this polling is still conducted over landlines. And like, I don't have a landline, so I'm never going to get a call from Gallup or Pew or whoever's doing this polling. A lot of those folks are, I'm trying to be nice here, but they're older, right? They're the people who are sitting around and who are actually going to answer, a strange phone call on their landline, which I certainly would not do. And so that does tend to skew results sometimes based on, who the pollers are talking to and who they're generating their sample from. But it's an interesting question. I mean, there's a lot of challenges with reporting on surveys when, you haven't really seen all the data behind it.
I will say if it is older people who are answering the phone and 91% of grandmas and grandpas for legalization of cannabis, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I've decided.
Right. I mean, I think the bigger question, no, I mean, you're right. I think a lot of people are not starting to question, it's not like, why do this? It's like, why not do this at a certain point, right? There's so much support, there's so much indication from states that have done this that good things can happen. And now I don't want to say it's a panacea, right? Like there are some negatives associated with this, but at the same time, like all the stuff people were afraid of just hasn't panned out. Like teens aren't using it. You know, teen use hasn't increased in states that have legalized. There's no more increases in traffic accidents that people were worried about. And there's a lot of extra revenue created, and there's a lot of like cool jobs, frankly, created, and like cool innovation. And a lot of states want this within their borders, and they should want that, right? Like we're still digging out of a pandemic. There's still a lot of revenue shortfalls. So like this is a really, really good way to make that happen. And it's relatively, you know, not completely, but it's relatively risk-free, honestly, like based on the reporting I've done. There's a lot of good that comes from this.
And of course, I mean, and lastly, from your perspective, we've been asking everybody this week, what is the best reason to federally legalize cannabis and to really get it right?
Yeah, you know, again, I just say, like, why not at this point? You know, you have so many Americans that support it. You know, only 3 states don't have any cannabis laws on the books. It's like something's got to give, and we've definitely passed the tipping point. And right now, you know, we're just waiting for lawmakers to act. You know, I understand that the American process moves slow, but it's time to speed it up. It's time to get this legalized.
Hey,
I have to say, as you were speaking, that sunlight started to come in like the heavens agreeing with you and gave you a real smoky, beautiful glow. Jeremy is an angel sent from above, demanding cannabis be legal.
I'd like to think so. Yeah, that's what I tell people for sure. And yeah, use that on the dating apps.
Some Crocs.
Yeah, exactly. Wait till you see this, how the sun shines off those Crocs. Jeremy, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's a blast as always.
Have a good one. Oh, man. Talk about beautiful sunlight. Before we move on to our final guest, Giulia and I want to take a minute for me to fix my headphones and for me to say thank you to everyone who has watched or Wowee on Instagram, on YouTube, in our stories, or really anything.
Yeah, it's, you know, the season of gratitude. If we were going around the table right now, I would say I'm grateful for Wowee. David and I've never hosted something remotely. I've never looked at my face in a screen this much.
Never.
I don't think I've ever smoked this much weed.
That's the best part, and it shows.
Smoked this much weed. So I truly, from the bottom of my heart, though, have had such a wonderful time because I do think that this is like, I don't know, David, we're always looking, I think, for like our work to do more than just entertain, right? And have a good time. And I do think like talking to the guests we've talked to, and like I've learned so much in the last few months about like the legal process and the medical benefits. And you know, I've had friends who I feel like are getting, I don't know, it's just been really great. My dad had an edible last week. I mean, things are really going well in my life, thanks to this show.
And you got that poncho. It's all happening. No, I also feel...
We didn't even talk about my new poncho.
Come on. I can't believe it hasn't come up yet. I can't believe it hasn't come up yet.
It's not even Style Week. And I got this poncho at a thrift store a few days ago, and you guys, just season 2, this poncho is going to be around quite a bit. I'm going to try to find David a matching one.
Get ready for Poncho Week.
Yeah, poncho week.
Via.
If you gotta get me Crocs, I gotta get you a poncho. Fair?
Say less. Say less. Done. Done.
Oh, we should let people know we're gonna be back, right? I know we mentioned it lightly.
We are gonna be back. The new year. I don't know what date. You know what date.
I think the week after New Year's-ish.
Yeah, that sounds ish, right?
That sounds ish. A couple weeks after New Year's is when we're going to be back.
But in the meantime, watch all the old shit. It still holds up.
Watch all the old shit, even if you've seen it.
Watch the old shit.
All the old shit. You guys, I'm going to bring out our final guest. Final guest. We met him earlier. He's fantastic. He is a believer in cannabis kindness and the author of the book, #Grow Like a Chef, a complete beginner's guide to growing auto-flowering marijuana at home. Please welcome back Chef Anna. Hello.
What's going on?
I'm so glad. Now, Chef, I said I wasn't going to talk about Crocs anymore, but I feel like we have to ask. Do you own any Crocs?
I don't own any Crocs. Like, you know, they look super comfortable. All I hear is good things about them, but I don't know why. It's just not my thing. Like, I'm more of a Air Max Nike type, you know what I'm saying? But I do probably need to get a little something, maybe even to wear them around the house. They do look comfortable.
Chef Anna.
Oh,
my husband is
also,
also
whoa, I got
more
Air
of a
Maxes.
Nike
I'm not
type.
like nuts.
Yep. Yep. And I think
Yeah,
think it's like a vacation for his feet, you know?
Yeah.
What, the Crocs?
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's exactly that.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
also
switch it up
wouldn't-
sometime.
Exactly. I can't just be wearing amazing shoes every day. It's like Griffey's one day, Crocs, Kobe's. Who knows what I'm gonna do?
Maybe I'll get some for Christmas, man. Wink, wink. If my lady's watching, shout out to AP. I love her the most. Maybe I'll get a little something in my stocking, some Crocs or something.
AP, get your man some
AP,
Crocs.
stuff that stocking. I'm telling you, he will not regret it. First things first, your name is Chef Anna with the pot. We have to ask, are you also a chef? Because then you really can do it all.
I'm not, man. I leave all the cooking up to my lady. I used to cook, but ever since we got together, I was able to take a back seat. She cooks way better than I. So the chef is just a part of the name. I'm more of a cook in the grow room. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I put the chef, or where I snag the chef from in front of the end of name. But yeah, so, it's, confusing to a lot of people, but I feel like it also adds into the mystery of who I am and what I do. It makes you want to know more. Does he cook? Is he a girl? Is he white? Because the logo's white. You know what I'm saying? But just all things to, just to make people think, give them a couple extra seconds to spend on my platform, and hopefully they get attached to the content and, become friends, followers, fans, all of that good stuff.
I love what you're doing, spreading cannabis kindness. I am not on your level by any means, but every now and then when I do hand weed to a stranger, like I was at a concert like a few months ago, and this guy behind me said to his girlfriend, he was like, "Oh, I really wish I was stoned right now." And I was like, "Here you go." And I just like gave him an edible, and it like the look, like he was like, "Thank you." It's like, getting a towel when you've fallen in water. Like, it was just like, didn't change his life, but it was a nice, comfortable thing to do. And
I mean, it might have changed his life. You never know.
Yeah,
it might have changed his life. It was, who knows? Maybe he proposed that night. But it's such a great thing to do around the holidays. So we have a clip of you that I want to show. It's you trading people an eighth of weed in exchange for their cigarettes. So we're going to watch that right now.
Hey, excuse me. You got another cigarette, man? I'll trade you an eighth of weed for the rest of your cigarette. I'll trade you an eighth of weed for the rest of them. There you go. Ah. Enjoy that, man. Happy holiday.
Thank you.
I'll trade you the rest of your cigarettes for an eighth of weed. Yeah, it's that Empire Magic Carpet.
I got like 2 cigarettes. I got some more cigarettes.
Let me see. Let me get all of them. Let me get these. What you think?
Alright, I really don't like perk like that, but I don't.
What you think about the biscotti?
Oh yeah, and you get the biscotti. Already.
Boom. Thanks, bro. Enjoy that.
Okay, so did you used to smoke? Like, where did this idea come from?
No, I've never, actually,
cigarettes.
I almost said never. I smoked a cigarette like once when I was 18. I could not stand the taste. I know, most things are like an acquired taste. You got to get through the first pack or two or whatever, but I just could not stand that taste in my mouth. Personally, I don't judge, but yeah, so I was never really a cigarette smoker. It's been weed since I was 18. And that idea just kind of came out of nowhere. Like most of my ideas when I go film content, the very first time I just happened to be walking into a Walmart and there was a lady walking next to me. and she was smoking a cigarette, and I just, hey, you smoking a cigarette? Why don't you smoke some weed? And then boom, that's where that kind of, you know, I got good feedback from that video. People liked it. So then I started to target the cigarette smokers specifically, like, you know, so if I come into a Walmart or wherever I'm filming, if I see somebody smoking, I'll always go and proposition them for the trade and just kind of see, you know, what happens. Like, it's always interesting whether they take it or whether they don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's obviously their choice, but I find it is good, you know, just to provide an alternative to some people that might not ever come across weed. They probably don't have a weed card, so they're not going to the dispensary. Maybe the people around them don't smoke weed, so they otherwise would have never had that opportunity to, you know, get some weed. Now, whether they kick the habit or not, you know, that's on them. That's not really what it's about, but it's more so kind of just trying to, again, man, spread the love, share the wealth, and hopefully provide some alternatives to some people.
Wait, I have to ask, can you smoke inside of your local Walmart?
I don't think you can. I've never smoked inside the Walmart, but you know, they got the little cigarette areas right outside the front door with the ashtray.
Outside.
Yeah,
yes, people
outside.
Were just like shopping and smoking. And I was like, what is this, 1980?
Right. No, not to that extent. Yeah, no. So it's always outside. So, you know, yeah.
I love this clip we have of you just giving away weed for your birthday. No ulterior motive or anything. Let's check this out.
I'm giving away an ounce of weed for my birthday. If y'all can guess how old I am. How old am I right now?
You are 35.
Oh, congratulations.
No.
Congratulations. You win.
No.
You win.
No.
I'm 35, turning 36.
No.
You win.
No.
You win. You don't want
it? I love how resistant he was at first.
Yeah, you know, some people don't believe it. And I said an ounce, but I didn't really weigh that. I eyeballed that. That's definitely a little bit more than an ounce. But you know, I just throw a number out there just to, you know what I'm saying, just for the sake of the content. But yeah, a lot of people just can't believe it. I get a lot of reactions where when I try to offer the weed, they just don't believe me. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, people don't really just go around giving away anything, to be honest. You know what I mean? So it's probably just, you know, catches you off guard that somebody is giving you something and something of value. Depending on where you buy your weed, an ounce of weed can cost you $300 plus, you know, $200 plus for something on the mid shelf or whatever. You know, I know the prices vary wherever you are, but that's a significant little. I just gave you $200, $300, $400. You know what I mean? So like, it's I can kind of understand some of the shock. I love those reactions.
Yeah.
Wait,
so do you just give away the weed that you grow? Do you buy weed to do this? Because then that gets
the majority of it is weed that I grow. Yeah, sometimes I do sponsored videos. Shout out to Rockwoods, TrueBuzz.com. Shout out to Empire. These are brands in Michigan. You know, some of the local brands will tap in with me. Like for the holidays, I'll be doing some sponsored giveaways where like that first smoker video y'all played, that was Empire, their jar. So you saw I had like their logos, their sticker on them. So it's awesome that I can, you know, do that, man. I get paid to go give away weed for some of these, you know, some of these bigger brands. So, you know, it kind of get, you know.
Three of us.
Yeah.
We're all getting paid in weed.
Never would have thought, especially for right. Never would have thought though. Never would have thought that I would be able to turn it into something that I can, you know, help take care of my family with. So I'm appreciative of it. I appreciate everybody that enjoys the content. We got more content coming. And yeah, man, shout out to everybody that stuck with me through. I lost my main platform on IG. I was pushing 100,000 followers. We would have been there by now, but we coming back, you know, so I appreciate everybody that's coming back and finding me, everybody that stuck with me. Appreciate all y'all.
Did they kick you off because of the weed content?
Yeah, giving away drugs on camera. You know, you know how that goes. It's frowned upon. But you know, it is what it is. I don't think the content is harmful. I'm not bothering people and you know too much. So I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, keep doing what got me to where I am, and you know, spreading the love. And you know, hopefully it gets to the point where it's federally legal and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Damn.
That's amazing. We actually have a caller. Would you like to take a call?
Oh, for sure. I love talking to callers. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring them in.
Oh,
hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Detroit. How y'all doing?
Detroit,
good,
what up, though?
What's your question?
Hey, what's the deal, Chef?
What's going on?
No, I low key have a lot of questions for you, so I'm trying to focus this. So I'm gonna shorten it to like two questions. One, what was your journey like building your following on Instagram? And then I'm gonna save my second question for after you.
Yeah, for sure. I started my Instagram as just a grow diary. Like I'm not a write it down type. So I needed something to where I can keep track of my plants every day. So I made an Instagram page specifically so I can scroll back and look at, development of plants and, seeing where things went wrong or went right. And slowly but surely, just started attracting followers, man. I have a marketing and advertising background. So once I got to about 3,000 followers, I'm like, if I put a brand to this, I can probably do something. So that's kind of when the branding kind of came around 3,000 followers. But when you in weed content, man, it might be a little bit rough, especially for platforms like Instagram. Like they block a lot and shadow ban a lot of weed content creators. So you really got to tap in with live streams, get in touch with the community, get in touch with the people. And the people will keep you afloat. The people will keep you, keep you going. So other than the little shadow bans here and there and losing the page, it just kind of is what it is when you're dealing with, weed content in the US.
Got you. And then actually now I formed a third question, but I'm gonna give you the second question. I don't know how much time I got.
I don't know. I'm good.
A couple minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. all right. So are you doing anything within the Michigan cannabis market? Because I'm trying to get my foot in there and do different types of things too. So I wanted to know if you were having a journey along those lines too.
Yeah, so we were getting into the pop-ups heavy, pop-up events, vending, setting up the table, selling our seeds, selling our products. COVID came and smacked events all over the place. So events are, fewer and far in between. But keep an eye out. I got my vending machines that'll be popping out in the spring. So you'll be able to tap in with our vending machines and, go get your seeds and new drops. They'll be available starting downtown and then, hopefully they grow and I can kind of spread them out throughout the city. But yeah, I'm always looking to tap in, man. I do it for the city. I'm glad that somebody from Detroit called in, man. What up, though? And yeah, man, we legal up here in Detroit, so definitely trying to take it all the way, especially with home growing. Everybody in Michigan can have 12 plants. No signing, no paperwork, no nothing. Just being a resident, you can grow 12 plants. So I always push growing auto flowers. They're real easy to get into, real manageable as far as their height and the time that you put into it. So yeah, always trying to tap in with the city.
Thank you so much for your call. And we didn't get
appreciate you for calling in, man. Shout out. Yeah, we didn't get to the third, but send me a message. And for the people watching, we are doing a giveaway on my channel on IG. Just go leave a comment. I'm gonna choose a couple random comments. We'll give you some seeds so you'll be able to grow, man. We got the grow guide as well too, man. Give you a copy of the book, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about growing a little bit. So your book promises to be the complete beginner's guide. What is your growing philosophy?
Get some seeds and get started. You know what I mean? Like that's how I started growing. Like, I was paying for weed. It was expensive at the time. I was working at like Target. So y'all already know what those kind of checks are like, working in the back. And when you get paid, I want to say, man, I was spending like 50% of my check on weed. And I'm like, I couldn't keep justifying that to my girl. We got other shit we got to pay for. So I'm like, you know what, man, let me just, I just started doing some research, came across auto flowering strains. I saw them being smaller size plants. I was in an apartment at a time, growing in a closet similar to the one behind me. So it just kind of fit into my lifestyle and the turnaround on the plants and not having to separate light and dark cycles and things like that. So my philosophy would be get some seeds and get started, man. And that's why I put the book out to show like it's really easy. It's got my full schedule from start to finish, a couple tips and tricks in there for you, and that you can use as a foundation to kind of springboard. You don't have to only grow autos. You can grow anything, but they're very similar. So yeah, man, I put that out. The first 3 months it was out, it was on the Amazon bestsellers list. So that was crazy. Shout out to my wife, AP. She helped me write it. And yeah, it's been amazing, man. Like the book really showed me that I can do anything. Like when we put that out and I saw how it was received and how it made the bestseller list, I'm like, okay, we did that from the basement, from the couch, sitting here. Like, we didn't spend a whole lot of money to make that or anything like that. So it just really showed me that anything is possible and that, we were onto something, building a brand.
I love that. I'm gonna get the book for my husband because we just started growing in California. It's real good. I will say he's done a fantastic job. He's like every day burping his jars, which it's
nice.
So cute when he is like it's very adorable. Anyways, I have a very important question. How high were you when you used to work at Target?
Man, you have
Good
to smoke
question.
going in there. Like you gotta see, I was working in the back, so stocking, bringing stuff off the truck and putting it in the back. You gotta be high going in. At least for me, just because I don't know about anybody else out there working a job, but it's a grind, man. And like, especially when you're giving 40 plus hours to a business, and you only really getting that check. They're not doing no profit sharing. They're not giving you some of the stuff that fell off the truck. None of that. You know what I mean? So you gotta, at least for me personally, like I always have to hit a little blunt before I go in, but outside and on the way, because if you smelling like smoke, they'll call you out in a job like that. So do it at your own risk, but definitely had to be nice and zooted before going in and putting the shift in.
I used to push carts at Target, and I would get high as hell.
You did? I go shopping at
and
Target.
zoning.
I feel like it passed the time. Like maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like it passed the time a little bit quicker. Like when you high, because at least when I'm high, you just don't care as much. Like things don't bother you as much. So the fact that I'm up here pushing boxes is not such a bad thing anymore. You know what I mean? So this makes it a little bit more pleasant and easier to get through that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I don't know. I smoke when I have to clean my house. Like if I have to organize anything, oh my God, organizing a closet high. Woo! Don't even get me started on what a good activity that is. We have another caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on? I'm Two Stroke.
Oh, what up?
Michigan. Chef
Michigan strong today. What up? Two Stroke in the building. What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Am I caller number 7?
Man, no, you're not. But for anybody watching, caller number 7 is off. Y'all got to tap in with the message. You know me, I be jumping the gun and lying to y'all all the time. So I am still going to do a giveaway on my IG, but we can't do it live. It's not my platform. So I'm not, I don't want to make anybody liable for for any shit that I be doing. So but tap in with me on the page, bro. I'm picking some random comments from the most recent post.
Always, I'm always tapping, man.
Do you have a question?
That was my question. I thought we was doing 7 callers over here.
I was like, we're going on a walk
my
with
bad.
you. Where are we going?
Yeah, all right.
When I jump on with Chef Anna, I gotta smoke some Chef Anna. So I had to go down to my little mini dispensary, grab some of this raw chicken from Chef Anna. So I'm about to get right with y'all.
Yo, shout out
Oh my
your
God,
YouTube.
is that one of the strains?
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out your
chicken?
IG. Shout out your IG. Yeah, raw chicken is one of our strains. I named it that because it's like blood red in the center, so it reminded me of raw chicken. But shout out your IG so they can check you out, man. Because I know you grow a lot of our strains as well, and it's awesome for people to see them grown not only just by me, but in different environments, different growth styles. You got a totally different growth style, all of that shit. So shout your IG.
For sure, man. Y'all can check me out on IG at 2StrokeSmoke22. I got multiple links in my bio for my YouTube channel, my Twitch page, all of that good stuff. Y'all can just go click that link in my Instagram account. It's 2StrokeSmoke22. Y'all check me out over there. I also got a website where I sell merchandise, seeds, stickers, all of that shit. So y'all show some support.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate
I
y'all.
love it. Thank you so much.
No
Thanks
problem.
for calling.
Hey, I seen in the comments, man, somebody we gotta go? We done?
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say real quick, shout out to Miggy. He said, ask about growing a plant at work, because y'all probably don't know about that. That's what catapulted me into doing the brand. Is I was working for one of the largest advertising agencies in the country. Can I say the name? No, I ain't gonna say the name. I was working for one of the largest in the country, and man, just typical work stuff, changing up our commission plans and not paying us no more, and layoffs were coming. So I knew I was gonna be losing that job, and I decided to go out on my own terms. I brought a plant to work. It was a baby when I brought it in, and I'm like, I'm gonna grow this plant on this desk at work. And I wanted to be the first person to ever live harvest a cannabis plant at work. We didn't make it. We got about 14, 15 days in. Once it started to put some stretch on it, I couldn't hide it no more. And so they found it. They fired me. Me and the plant got walked out. But that, shout out to everybody that saw that. That's classic Chef Anna shit. And my page got deleted, so a lot of people don't even know that happened. Like some of the new followers and new watchers. But yeah, we got fired. I want to say I'm probably the first to ever get fired from growing weed at an office job. Maybe somebody correct me. I'm gonna own it. I'm the first. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody
on the
that saw
deck.
that.
On the desk for sure. I'll give you that. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
on the desk.
for
On the
sure.
desk. It wasn't hidden in
Wow.
the on the desk. Like, it was just like, other people had desk plants, different kind of, plants. So I thought I'd be able to get
They had,
away
like,
with it a little
photos of
bit
their
longer.
family.
Exactly.
And you're just like photos of weed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a classic Chef Anna moment, man. Shout out to Meg for bringing that up.
Oh man, I love that they had to have a meeting where they decided it was weed that you were growing on your desk.
You know what I mean?
Like one guy's like, no, I think it's basil.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say, because a lot of people haven't seen the actual plant. Like, most people just see the end game.
Yeah.
They see, the bud
Right.
that comes in a jar or the package. A lot of people don't get to see those different growth stages. So until it's really looking like something like this, and my light went out, so it's a little dark, y'all can't see it. Until it's looking like a traditional weed plant, a lot of people probably wouldn't know what it is. You know what I mean? Unless you're an expert on, botany or something like that. But yeah, so that was a little awesome moment in Chef Anna history, and it catapulted me. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I was going to say, do you guys remember the first time you held weed? I remember it very clearly. Held, like, I was at my friend's house in high school. I think I was like in 10th grade. I'm just like, look what I have. And I was like, and I was like, can I touch it? And then I like held it. And then I was like, take it away, take it away, take it away. Like, I got like so nervous. And look at me
Yeah,
now.
I remember.
But I remember
first time
being
I was
like,
in-
I remember like telling a friend, like, I touched weed. Like, I was like freaking out.
Yeah, my first time seeing weed, I was in middle school. I didn't smoke till I was 18, but we had got off the bus stop, me, my next door neighbor, and we were walking home, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna smoke this later. And he just pulled it out of his pocket. It was in like a little sandwich bag, and I'm like trying to be hip and cool, like, oh, I know what that is. Let me smoke with you. And he must have known at the time I wasn't cut like that, because he was like, nah, man, this ain't for you, man. You don't want to do this or whatever. So I didn't smoke with him, but that was my first time seeing weed, and I was just like, just thrown off by it. Like, you would hear about it in music and movie and whatnot, but that was my first time seeing it from a middle schooler. A middle school kid showed me weed, so I just thought that was pretty crazy. And some people get started early. I was 18 and up, but some people get started early, man.
Yeah, we do not condone underage.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry, I probably shouldn't.
I have no
we condone
comment.
fun stories of our. You can
I'd be
share your
lying to
story.
y'all.
That's not condoning it.
True, yeah, because I didn't smoke.
Also, I was 38 when I was in middle school or high school.
Facts.
Oh man, I don't even. I wish I remembered. I don't remember the first time I saw weed. Had to be very young because my older cousin, who used to watch me, smoked like a lot. So it had to be some of his weed. Didn't smoke it until I also was 38. I'm 34 now. Chef. Lastly, we are asking everyone this lately. What is the number one reason you think for the federal legalization of cannabis?
The number one reason, for me, it'd be the 40,000 plus. Yeah, it'd be the 40,000 plus people we currently have in jail in the United States, jail and prison for non-violent cannabis-related crimes. We need those people expunged and out. You know what I'm saying? I think, my content shows that this plant isn't hurting people. I've put live plants in police officers' hands. I've taken them down to protest, put them right in front of the police, put them on police cars, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, if I can do stuff like that, it's no reason somebody should be in jail for this plant. You know what I mean? And then you also have companies out here making millions and millions of dollars off of it. So let's get all these people out of jail. That would be my number one, I would say, for me personally, the number one thing that I would like to see with federal legalization of cannabis.
Amen. Amazing. Folks, you can find him on Instagram at Chef Anna TV. Thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. I had a great time with y'all. Thanks for having me. Shout out to everybody that watched over on YouTube. Hit the comments on my IG. We're going to do that giveaway as soon as I get off of here.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
David, that is our
Giulia.
show. That is our show.
last-
We've done, how many shows have we done? 2,000?
34?
34. We've done somewhere between 15 and 20,000 shows. And I got to say, it's been a delight. we're going to close today's show as we do every show with some Wowee wisdom. David, tell the fine people what you learned.
All gravy's good gravy if you make it with love. Giulia, what's your Wowee wisdom?
I learned
That's the worst sound.
2 things. The sound effect department at Wowee is either spot on or off the rails, and God, I love them. And number 2, I learned, man, I was trying to think of something funny, but like, when he was talking about all the people in jail, like, imagine if someone in jail for a minor weed offense turned on this program and was like, let me get this straight. These 2 idiots are crock shopping stoned while I'm in jail? Like,
yeah.
Fuck that. That has to
Fuck
change.
That.
We should all be free smoking weed and buying
and
crock.
wear Crocs.
I keep saying we're not going to talk about them, but clearly I've been pulled into the crock cult. I've been pulled in the crock pot.
You're in the crocosphere.
Well, we're really going out with a bang. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow Wowee. Follow David and I. We're going to be back in January. Until then, have the most wonderful holiday season. You deserve it. 2021.
Little Italy.
Bye.